Okay, so today we're going to really like dive deep into this idea of like what it means to be known and loved
Yeah.
in a relationship. And we're doing it all based on one poem.
One poem.
It's called Pasted Text.
Cool.
Um, and it's basically this series of I knew you loved me when statements.
Oh, interesting.
So
Yeah, clear.
it's really cool.
So it's about these like small moments.
Yeah.
Not like these big gestures,
Okay.
like a dozen roses or something like that.
It's not about like going to Paris or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's about like these smaller things.
The everyday stuff.
Yeah. And so like the first line is, I knew you loved me when I could feel it in the way you listened.
Wow.
And the way you remember the just because gestures. And like, you accepted every corner of my life, even the parts that collect dust. So it's interesting because right off the bat, it's about like being heard and seen.
Yeah, and I think it goes even a little deeper than that, you know?
Deeper than just being heard.
Deeper than just like basic listening. It's like active listening,
Oh, yeah.
you know, where the person is really present
Right.
and like not just hearing your words, but
Not like getting you.
yeah, the emotions behind the words, like
Right.
really being understood.
Yeah. And that's like a very specific feeling, you know?
It is.
I'm trying to think of a time when I felt that. And
Yeah.
it's like, when you're talking to someone and you can just tell that they are like laser focused
Yes.
on you. Like, they've put their phone down, they're making eye contact.
Right.
They're not just like waiting for their turn to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a good feeling.
Totally.
Like, imagine you're telling your partner something really important. Like, what are the things that they would do
Yeah.
that would make you feel like really heard and understood?
Well, for me, it's like the little thing.
Little things.
Yeah, you know, like a nod of the head,
Okay.
showing that they're following along or asking a clarifying question.
Oh, yeah.
Or even like a gentle touch on the arm.
Oh, wow.
Like that just to show support. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture,
No,
but like those small things just communicate so much.
totally. And, it's interesting because the poem really emphasizes that feeling of being seen,
Yes.
not just heard. And there's this one line where it says, I knew you loved me when you showed me how far you would go. You sat next to me patiently as I unraveled and rebuilt who I wanted to be.
That's powerful.
It's like this idea that love creates like a safety net
Yeah,
for you to like grow as a person.
absolutely. And it reminds me of this concept in psychology called like a secure base.
A secure base.
Yeah, it's like the idea that when we have these loving, supportive relationships, it gives us the confidence to kind of like explore new parts of ourselves,
Oh.
take risks, even stumble a little bit
Right.
because we know that we have this safe haven to go back to.
Yeah, like someone's in your corner no matter what.
Exactly.
It's that unconditional support thing.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
It is.
Like, I'm trying to think about like a time when I went through a lot of growth in my life. Like, did I have someone there
Yeah.
to support me?
Did you feel that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And it really makes a difference.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, like I had this person in my life who like really believed in me even when I doubted myself.
Wow.
And it gave me like the courage to push beyond my comfort zone, to pursue things that I never thought.
That you didn't think you could do.
Yeah. I mean, it was really transformative.
And speaking of transformation, there's this next line in the poem
Yeah.
that is like so powerful. It says, I knew you loved me when I realized that I had never been seen before. There was no facade or expectation.
Wow.
That's deep, right?
It is deep.
Like, that's about being seen in your like truest form.
Yeah. No masks, no pretending.
No pretending. Yeah.
Just like raw, authentic.
Yeah. And it makes me think about like the beginning of relationships when you're kind of like putting your best foot forward.
Totally.
You know, like-
You're on your best behavior.
Yeah. And it's like you're not fully yourself yet.
Right. You're not letting your freak flag fly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like real intimacy
yeah.
happens when you can like let your guard down
Yeah.
and just be your true messy self.
Yeah. And the poem gets at that with these lines like, you intertwined your life in between my lines. This was lightweight. This was, we will figure it out together. This was home being a person.
That's beautiful.
I know.
And
Right?
it just speaks to like the ease
Yeah.
and the partnership.
It's not about like fireworks
No,
and craziness. It's about,
it's about like that comfortable,
yeah,
like we're in this together feeling.
we're a team.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So what creates that feeling of home for you in a relationship?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
For me, it's definitely like shared values,
Okay.
shared goals, that willingness to compromise and like
Mhm.
a deep sense of respect.
Mutual respect.
Yeah, it's like knowing that even on your worst day, you can still be yourself and feel loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the poem ends with this amazing line. I knew you loved me because I never had to wonder if you did.
Wow.
Like, can you imagine having that kind of certainty?
That's powerful.
I know, it's like no wondering, no insecurity.
No overthinking every little text or interaction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, when doubt creeps into a relationship, it can really damage it.
It can erode the foundation.
Yeah, but when you have that assurance,
It's like a rock.
it's solid.
Yeah, and it creates this, like, peace
Mm-hmm.
and security.
And then the relationship can really flourish.
Absolutely.
This poem really is just a beautiful picture of what it means to be known and loved in like a deep and real way.
Yeah.
And I think it really like challenges all of us to think about how we can create that in our own relationships.
Yes.
Through listening, through support.
Through acceptance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Being accepting of like
Of all of it.
all the messy stuff.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.